Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, taking it's only Tuesday, but I've got some of the most exciting news of the week for you guys so far. That is because as of about 8 hours ago, Snowboard Kids 2 is at 100% decompiled status. If you've been watching me and the channel, you know I'm always here to talk about big decomp energy, and considering Snowboard Kids 2 is one of my absolute favorite N64 games of all time, and in my opinion, the best snowboarding game on the system, this is definitely going to be very exciting now and even exciting moving forward. That is because now that it's 100% decompiled, you know full well you are going to see a PC port for this coming up shortly. And that is definitely exciting because we have so many N64 recomps and PC ports going on right now. And of course we also have Twilight Princess PC port going as well. It really is Nintendo's 2026 when it comes to all of these projects. And getting something like Snowboard Kids 2 100% decompiled means we're going to be having a lot more fun with it in the future. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. I talked about this decomp project maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, right around the holiday season, because I was thinking of snow and it definitely was making some good progress, but this has definitely jumped up since then, and now every single bit of it has been decompiled. And what that means, if you're not familiar with it, is the source code is now available because it's taken the compiled version from the N64 ROM and then decompiled it back to what it would have looked like at the offices of Atlas when this game was developed. So now you can basically port that over to any system you possibly want, something like a PC, Mac, Android, iOS, even something like the Nintendo Switch. Now of course these ports do take time, so it's not like you're going to see this thing in the next couple days, although honestly every time I estimate a time frame I am wrong by a lot, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens with this one. But imagine a world in which Snowboard Kids 2 is playing on your PC in 16:9 with a higher frame rate and the ability to mod in whatever you could possibly want to mod into it. That is definitely a future I want to live in. I want to see a bunch more courses and a ton of other features in this game. Now taking a look at the decomp page, you're going to see here it is 100% decompiled. If we kind of go around to the different modules and pop in, you'll see all of these green squares here. That's everything that makes up the source code for something like Snowboard Kids 2. Some things will make sense, some things will not make sense depending on how much you know about it. If you take a look at here at the levels, you'll see Jingletown. That is one of the courses from something like Snowboard Kids 2, so you can see all the different behaviors and code that would be part of that. So if you actually go into that course, that's what we're talking about here. So basically every single component that would make up Jingletown, not including the racers and all of the menus because that would be separate, that is what that green square represented, all of the different functions and features specific to this one course. I really do like going over all the decomp.dev pages because it really gives you a good look at what's going on under the hood. Like I said, some of the modules won't make any sense. They're about integers and different math that the game would do. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but if you go through some of the more plainly labeled ones, you'll understand how that code actually affects the gameplay in and of itself. And honestly, if you've never played Snowboard Kids 2 before, 10 out of 10 fun game, and definitely my preferred compared to the original Snowboard Kids. Don't get me wrong, that game is absolutely a banger too, but this one just has more of a good thing, and more is always going to be better in my opinion when it comes to N64 games. But I just love the potential for this in the future because it does run well on N64 and it does have a very pretty look, but imagine stuff like the widescreen support, but mostly the mod ability to maybe have new power-ups and even new courses brought into this engine, because that's really what Snowboard Kids 2 is. It's an incredible downhill racing engine that just has so much charm and so much flair, and people could do so much more with it. And it's one of those things we're never going to see a Snowboard Kids game again, but people could whole craft new experiences out of this, kind of the same way we see stuff like Mario Kart Amped Up. Imagine an amped up version of Snowboard Kids 2 with inside a PC port. That is the potential for the future, but again, it still takes people to work on it, not only to get it to the PC, but then also decide if they want to make new courses and new content out of it. But I feel like this game is so beloved by the people that know about it, that will definitely happen. Let's go into our first soundtrack sample because this game has some straight up charming music as well, and it would sound great coming out of a PC port. So go ahead and listen for 45 seconds or so, but come back, I'll talk more about the Decomp project and what I hope to see in the future. But trust me, this music is good, so enjoy it, and I'll be right back with a bit more. Just super fun, charming music. And if you take a look at what we're looking at here, this is basically the control system, for lack of a better term, of every single function when you're actually racing, including charging up the jump before you do a trick. All of those are different components of the decompiled code that are required to get to that PC port. And again, sometimes you see PC ports when things hit like 95% decompiled status, and that's because some of the functionality is of course important, but you don't really need to wait for it to be done to see a rudimentary PC port come. Because that isn't the case with Snowboard Kids 2 now, anyone can sit down and know they have 100% of everything they need to start working on a port. And honestly, this game again just has so much fun and weird charm to it. If you played this back in the day, you know it and you love it. And if you look at the price of a copy right now, this thing is absolutely gone, way more expensive than it ever was at retail. And that's just because it really is one of those classically good N64 games, and one that for some strange reason never really saw that much love. I mean, obviously the first version of the game had enough sales to warrant a sequel, but something about Snowboard Kids 2 seemed to kind of just go under the current, pun very much intended, for this next water level and not get the attention or the sales numbers that it deserved. And that's why these PC ports are a fun time as well. It doesn't just let you play the game that you have nostalgia for from back in the day, it's also going to bring new audiences in. And now that you're seeing some rollback netcode hit stuff like N64 and emulation, I would love to see a PC port get some rollback netcode as well, so you could have 4-player races with your friends that weren't actually sitting in your room playing the game with you. That would definitely be a dream, because this is a very fun game, and it can be very competitive as well. It's basically downhill Mario Kart in all the best ways possible, and all of these different power-ups and attack items are just so much fun to play around with. And again, I can see a future where people mod in new power-ups into the game, just basically make it even that much more fun. And I could even see something like maybe, and again, there aren't any CC classes, like a 250cc class theoretically in Snowboard Kids 2, just to make the game that much faster via mods. Because there is a really fun platform here. The courses are absolutely lovingly designed, and each one has its own personality. I just want more Snowboard Kids 2, and that is something we could get if this thing comes over to PC. Now, as I always like to say in these videos, just because something has been 100% decompiled does not mean you're going to even see a PC port. A lot of times the decomp teams aren't the same people that actually make the ports. Sometimes they are, and sometimes it takes a couple years for anyone to even take on the project. Most famously seen in the Paper Mario decompilation for Nintendo 64. The PC port is just getting developed now, but that game has been 100% decompiled for over 2 years. And while I hope and don't expect that this is going to happen with Snowboard Kids 2, just keep your expectations in check so you can't be disappointed. It might be here next month, it might be here by Christmas, it might be here in 2028. We're just going to have to wait and see. But the fact that it's ready for a potential PC port anytime a dev or a team of devs want to take a shot at it, that is a win in and of itself. And again, I feel like you're going to see this one sooner rather than later. At least that is my hope, maybe not my expectation. Let's do one more soundtrack sample, because again, the music in this game is straight up a 10 out of 10, and I'll be right back with more. I mean, honestly, Snowboard Kids 2 is the total package. It has so many fun races, a ridiculous story, and a bunch of extra additional modes and challenges that will really keep you a ton more busy than the original version of the game. Snowboard Kids was a fun time, but it was basically a racing game, where Snowboard Kids 2 is all of that plus a bunch of extra stuff. And it again is one of those games, if you played it, you love it. If you've never played it before, I can't stress enough just how special of a game this truly is. And at some point in time, you're going to see this thing widescreen, ultra wide, 60 frames per second with a ton of modability, and if we're very, very lucky, some online play as well. And that really is why the N64 is in its new golden era, at least in my opinion. It is getting so much love. It's got FPGA consoles, it's getting decomps, recomps, and PC ports. Everything old is new again, and in 2026, the Nintendo 64 is 100% leading the charge. Short of that, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, we're done. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.